YouTube Mine Explorers. Tom and Julie here. Well, this is the rocky road we're going up. There have been some recent rains in this area. This is near Death Valley. But this has washed out all the fines out of this road. And what we're left with is just rocks and washouts and very, very rocky road. So let's go exploring this mine. Right off, I love the door. It's still in good shape. It's made out of 2x6s and 2x12s. Some big flat hinges. I got a feeling this is going to be a good one today. Well, there's a nice fuse reel, spool I should say. And it looks like an air tank that was standing up at one time but now is laying down because it's got feet down here. Here's some interesting mineralization. So we took a right off the main line here. I think I saw something down this drift, like a tank again or something. Oh, this looks like it goes up and down. Oh boy. There's your excitement. Here's a cable guide roller. Doesn't want to move. Here's a bell for ringing, probably signaling the operator. Looks like it's an old brake drum or something. And this big tank. Might be a water tank the way it looks. It's kind of a wild mine, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what exactly happens up here, besides a large stope. There's a big platform here. I don't know what this is. Feels solid. Oh boy. There's a ladder, but I don't really see it going anywhere special. So this skip car would have been pulling up these rails here, and it would have come up behind me here up to those hooks that would catch the skip car and dump it, and it would end up in that big bin, and then they could load it out of this. They could load it out onto an ore car to take out the haulage out of that chute right there.
All right.
Well, we've roped in to a water pipe and backed up to the ladder. And we don't know much about these ladders on this skip track, so we're going to try and be safe and rope in. And we're just using a knot that will stop us if we happen to fall. And that's it. So take care going down.
Okay.
Watch out for the grease.
Yeah.
Let's get over on this side where the ladders are. Okay.
Okay. Good luck.
May not need the rope, but you know what? For all I know, there's a whole ladder missing down here.
We can't see past that right there.
Okay, this is looking up the ladder. I'm about, I don't know, 40 feet down. It gets kind of twisty right here, and it gets steeper. So I'm feeling pretty good about being roped in. You know, twisty ladders like that, and I was a little bit unsettling. So let's continue down a little lower, and we'll see what happens. You can see these ladders are kind of wired and patched together here. Here she comes. There's a big step somewhere in there.
Yeah, I just did.
Oh, you just took it?
So here are a couple artifacts. First is a little matchbook cover from Barney's Lodge and Casino from Hawthorne, Nevada. And a tin, a velvet tin, cigarette tin. And dynamite paper, looks like.
Geladine.
Geladine, Atlas. All right, let's go a little further down.
Yep, big step here because it's missing a rung. And then there are some patched in rungs. So just be careful.
Okay.
See you down below.
Alrighty.
This ladder's barely hanging here. Okay, we're making our way down the ladder a little further. We're both happy to be roped in. You can see there's some missing rungs like right there, although there's another step we could use. But it's nice to be protected. So we're not sure. There might be a level here. It looks like there are a few things to look at anyway. So we're probably going to get off rope for a second and check it out. Okay, that's where Julie is, just where we got off the rope, just to her left. And this is just a short little room here. But I want to show you this rickety set of ladders going up here. Look at that. That one's just set into one of the rungs there, as is the next one up too. And they keep going up higher. Man, I wouldn't want to take that ladder. So there are some dynamite box parts around on this little level. Let's go find them. Alright, well there's about half a dynamite box. I think it says number 3. I can't quite read what it said there. It's powdering off. And there's an old MJB can. Coffee can. There's a look at a little bit of this vein. Rather colorful right there. So this looks like it says standard something motor oil. Kent? Standard something EN. Somebody will know. You let me know. Well, there's a working that goes that way, but I think we got to go down further. So we'll get back on rope and down we go. Here are the ladders. So this is some kind of an antifreeze can that's being used as a swab, grease swab bucket. It says winter flow antifreeze summer coolant. Union carbide winter flow. There's a big cable right under Julie's foot. It's got a loop end on it. I'm not sure what they're doing with that. Over here is a piece of drill steel that's bent up. Also a knockoff extension piece, an old round point shovel, another chevron multi-machine oil. There's an old Hills Brother can, another Hercules dynamite box cardboard. Oops. An RPM oil can. Stuff like that. More stuff over here. Here's another Hills Brothers coffee can. So some neat stuff. A couple more fuel cans. Well, here's the mother load of the cardboard explosives box. This is Hercules. Looks like they were 50-pound boxes, 1 1/8 by 8 inches long. 4X, that might have been the strength, I don't know. There's a big hook in the wall. An anchor for something, a slusher or something. This is kind of a wild thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bunch of hose and cable over there. Let's go this way. Gently, it's really dusty. As I slide down the hill. Well, that little drift didn't really go anywhere, so we're going back to the ladder. We don't have that much further to go until the bottom of this particular shaft is here. So, let's do that and we'll see what's down there. Well, we're going to go down one more level. I can see the bottom of this particular shaft. I don't think it's the actual bottom of the mine, but that's looking back up the ladders that were coming down. They're pretty straight up. And here, Julie's almost to the bottom of the shaft. And there's a bunch of mess down here. Here's a chute that's at the end of this track that would have dumped into the skip car. Skip would have gone just a few feet lower than where we are right now. They would have dumped it into that. Okay, well here is a nice little ore car. It's a rear dumper. If Julie wants to lift up the tailgate, we could see how it would have dumped. And then, there you go. And this hook down here would have hooked it. Yeah. Okay, you can let it back down. Watch your fingers. Let it go. And the wheels are gone, of course. But let's go look at the other side. I think this is the swivel plate for it. Isn't it?
Looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then here's the other side. There's a quarter stick of dynamite. And I think this is the swivel plate for this ore car, or part of it. And then I think the other part's by Julie. Here's a Trojan cardboard box. That's a Hires root beer can.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah. All right, let's go down the drift, see what we have. Already fun to find the ore car. Oh, there's a column from a column drill.
Neat.
You bet. That's the jack portion of the column, and then the drill would hook up on the cross beam there, and you could adjust it. So here's a chute coming in from up above with a collector, and it's kind of jammed up. That's pretty heavy duty stuff. I've got some track down here. It's kind of a light gauge. There's a nice pail with the handle still on it.
Grapefruit juice.
Oh yeah, the miners love their fruit juices and canned fruit and stuff like that.
Ooh, a door.
Looks like a fuse room. Let's go look at the fuse room. No, I'm not locking her in there. Just looking at the door. It smells like creosote. Oh, what's all that trash? That must be the bottom of another shaft. Looks like it anyway. Okay. So yeah, this looks like a fuse table. There's still a spool holder up here. So it looks like a little bit of fuse there still, and a thermalite connector. This is definitely their fuse bench. They would measure this out, measure the fuse out so the shot was timed just perfectly, and hopefully everything ended up on the muck sheet once they were done. They all went off in a certain sequence. Alright, let's get back in the main line and see what we find down here. Back through the door here. There's something going on up here. There's an intersection. I see a spool. Oh, I see another ore car. Look at that.
Awesome.
Number 3.
Cool.
This one has the dump and tilt handle on it still. And the tailgate is there.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the wheels are gone again. I think a lot of times the miners repurpose the wheels. I think they were the hardest and the most expensive part of these to get. Well, I could be wrong. That's a pretty nice specimen, except for the trucks are gone. Somebody started to take the tailgate apart. And then the wheel would be over here. Except for it's been pilfered or repurposed, one or the other. So a lot of other stuff laying around here. Miscellaneous parts and bolts. This was a little shop area, it looks like, because there's a lot of stuff laying around. Fittings and washers and nuts. Now here's a big chute. Look at, they use the cable tightener piece of drill steel. Here is a steel chute gate. I don't want to lift it up, it'll make too much dust, but I could. No, I'm not gonna, it'll dust us out. Oh wow, look at skip car. On the track still. Still hooked up, so this is just hooked up. I don't know where the winching mechanism was. It would have dumped up here, right there, into this little hopper and chute that Julie's standing by. And then they would have filled up that ore car right there and hauled it out over to the other skip that we came down the ladder. Oh, this is pretty neat here. This is, this one's pretty much all here. And this is looking down this track. So this looks like a little washing station. It looks like a homemade soap dish here with the holes in the bottom of the thing so it could drain out. And then there is some plumbing here that would have supplied the water for your wash. There's a bench here with some stuff on it. Looks like a pick handle or a hammer handle. Some more modern stuff there. So here's a skull can, it looks like, and a top for a...
United States Tobacco Company.
Okay.
And packing slip. Somebody wrote down Thursday, Friday, Monday.
Oh, we're there.
Like a load count.
There's a Wireco spool. Made in the US of A. Alright, let's go past this little area, past the number 3 ore car, and see what else is over here. I see another chute. Oh boy. Watch that last step.
Holy smoke.
That's a big stope. Okay, this is looking up. That's got to be about 70 feet tall. It looks like this level continues over that way. And then down here, it's probably 100 feet from the bottom of the stope to the top of this one. There's a can down there. These tracks look like they may have gone further at one time, but before it got dug out. So I think we can make our way across this mess and get over to there, don't you think?
I think so.
Julie's leading the way, as usual. These tracks are still in okay shape. Just looking down into that stope. Well, there's a ladder coming up there. And then it goes down into a hole further down. Pretty wild. In it.
Yes.
There's a nice can with a nice label on it. Well, that's a beaut there. Richfield oil. Looks like it continues this way. Take a gander at that can.
Yeah.
That's a nice one, isn't it? Look at the color on that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rock drill number 19, rock drill oil. Moving past the nice oil can there with beautiful color. More cans, more boxes. There's a 5-gallon RPM. Multi-motive grease.
Prestone.
They used antifreeze in their drills to keep them from freezing up, I believe, from the compressed air. There's another Richfield ice machine. What's that? Track's running out. So is the drift.
Yeah.
That it?
Yeah, because there's a big bag of high calcium hydrated lime.
The Flint Coat Company. There's another piece of drill steel. A chisel style bit. And maybe some vein material. This is right by that big stope. It's a big one. Not as big as the ones we saw last week, though.
I know.
Let's shoot across here once together. And way up here, too, look. Alright, let's get out of here. There's our exit point right over there. Here's a nice looking rock. More ladders. This thing gonna stay here?
I hope so. It's tied up. but
Cabled up, yeah.
It's cabled up. So Tom's gonna go down those ladders there, down the skip rail.
Check it out. Actually, I can walk down here. That's a big rock hanging right there, Wendell.
You see that?
I was looking back up the skip track. I don't know how far you can see up there. Still goes down a little ways too. The ladder ends right there. Oh no, it jogs over, doesn't it? But I'm at a little bit of a level here, looks like. I thought I'd jump off the ladder for a second and take a look. Looks like that was a makeshift chute of some sort. Looks like this goes over into a stope. Wow. It's pretty tall. Not much going on down here though. I don't want to make a lot of noise because sometimes that's all it takes to slab something off of these things. This is looking back at the skip track over there. Mines go through a lot of oil, don't they? Here's another oil can. Oops, I just tripped on it. There's a couple drill steels. There's a little spot that looks like there was a slusher probably that pulled ore from behind me here. I'll turn around in a second. But probably pulled ore from over that way, slushed it over this way into the skip car that would have run up and down right there. Behind me is a nice shovel, broken handle, but the blade's hardly even broken in. Although it is cracked, isn't it? Somebody was using their shovel as a pry bar. Arco oil can right there, looks like. Here's somebody's slicker, the jacket part of it. It's a stiff one now. Heidi, chocolate babies. So Julie stayed up top for now, since we didn't think there was going to be much down here. That looks like some fuse with the blasting cap on it. So I was looking back up the skip track. I'm at the bottom. Ladders go a little left and right down here towards the bottom. There's not much down here. There's a couple drill steels. Looks like a chute type of gate or something. The sump is down here, not much down there either, an oil can. So back up we go. Look at this spot. The cable has cut right all the way through the top of the track there. You see that? That's pretty crazy. You'd think that would be kind of dangerous. It could damage the cable and cause it to fray and cut. Okay. I'm almost back up to the skip car. Got back with Julie anyway. She's heading up the little ladder by the skip. Oh, that's a long ways down there. Okay, one last look at this skip car before we leave. It's a nice one. It's in good shape. And here's the gate that the skip material would have dumped through into this ore car right here. And this would have rolled over to the other skip track, which we didn't see a car there. But this is the nice little rear dumper, and angled back on it, and the lever for latching and all that still there. So back to this other ladder we go, back on our rope. Alrighty, we're back to this other ore car, and the ladders. Which are right here. which are pretty steep. There goes Julie on up the ladder. Straight up almost. We're almost 200 feet down. And then that other ladder seemed to go about another, I don't know, 100 and some. This is looking back down. There's my toe, there's the edge. Living on the edge. There's Julie, if you can see her, I'm leaning out. So Julie and I are using a Ropeman 2 for just for ascending the rope. It's not in this, it's a progress capture device. It will slide up the rope, but will not, it'll go up, but it'll hold if you fall. So it's a little easier to ascend the rope with this. It just slides along with you, which is kind of nice. We use a lot of prusik knots or auto block hitches and that, and those you have to kind of manually slide with your hand. This will just come up with you. Okay, this is kind of behind the ladders where we just came up. Ouch. We never did go this way, I don't think. It's kind of a wild mine, I gotta say.
Look at these pants. I think they're pants.
Yeah, those are rain slickers. Overalls.
No,
Or bibs.
bibs.
Here's a fairly heavy ventilation pipe, like a culvert almost. Here's a ladder and a barrel. Somebody's been up on the ladder digging around on the mineral vein. I don't think it goes a long ways. Well, we walked about 2 blocks without anything happening, and here's a junction and a pipe. Water pipe, it looks like, goes to the right. And that keeps going for a ways. You want to go straight or you want to go right? Straight. Okay. We'll come back and take the pipe route later. Well, we've come to a backfilled area or a junction or something. Here was somebody from 1959. Oh yeah. Okay, we're back to this water pipe. I hope you haven't had too much pulse width modulation today. I've had my lights kind of screwed up on occasion. That's when you dim an LED light. And the reason they flicker is because to dim them, what happens is the circuitry turns the LED light on and off rapidly. And the dimmer you have it, the less rapidly it turns on and off, and the more flickering you get on a video. So hopefully you haven't had too much of that. I've caught myself about 3-4 times today having my lights dimmed, which causes that. A barrel and a door. Was this a... No, I thought this may have been a skip bucket, but it's not.
Oh, creepy.
It's a creaker. I feel like we're going into a stope.
Yeah.
There's a barrel. Yeah, there's your big stope. Alright, we're looking up into the stope. There's a big pillar. One little old lonely stele out there. And then another pillar with some red in it. And a big hanging wall overhead. Here's a closer spot on this vein. I'm not sure exactly what it is. That's the biggest barrel of shingle oil I've ever seen. That'll do your whole roof, your shake roof. All right, we're going back this way. Julie's going across the little bridge. And this little spur was just a loading area for this stope that we were just looking in. It would have probably had some track that came around and loaded right through here. And you can see how raggedy the edges of the timbers are. Look at how this is worn out too right here. And the work car would have sat right here, been loaded up, and trammed out this way. Here we are back to this air tank. Well, we're back to the big water tank, which is near the portal. It's one of the first things we saw when we came in. So that's going to do it for today.
Thanks for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in our next adventure.